Hold on.
Take two.
Sorry. I'm serious now. I'm ready.
Good evening.
Good
Welcome
evening.
to... Okay.
Okay. I'm going to be quiet until you introduce me.
Good evening. This is Fred, FR5ED, with a silent 5, here with a beer review. As you may tell, this is a special edition because I do have a guest, which I never have on this program. Fun with beer, flags.
Fun with flags.
This is
Amy Farrah Fowler.
This is, or Kristin, as she's also known as. Kristin, my daughter, my older daughter, who also enjoys different beverages, including beer. And so this evening she'll be joining me. Well, different beverages, as I said, that is a very pale beer, is it not?
It pales in comparison, indeed. And before you go any further, I just want to say what a pleasure it is to be joining you all on this craft beer adventure tonight.
It is an adventure.
It is.
Isn't it? It is. It is. Okay, so you may be thinking about the hat that I have on. It's a different hat I've never worn before. Went to Ireland. This is the oldest pub in Ireland, established in 1198. And it was great. So I won't go into that, won't wax about that now, but I will take it off so you can see my head. Oh, sorry. It got brighter all of a sudden. So
You may also be wondering how my name is spelled. There
How
are
is
no
your name
numbers.
spelled?
There are no numbers.
no numbers in your name. I decided not to bestow that on you. So anyway, all right. So this is a beer review coming up eventually. And you've already seen by the title what it is. I don't think you even know what it is.
No, I don't.
Well, let me surprise you. It is Dark Truth. And this is by Boulevard Brewing in, I'm going to say Kansas City.
I'll hold
I'm
mine
pretty
as
sure it's in
well.
Kansas City. And pretty much the same. I think
It's the same.
It came from the same
Anyone
six-pack.
interested? Or you're going to tell them about this, so I don't want to give away the...
I will.
Okay.
I will.
Yeah.
They, I feel like, Saturday Night Live. Oh, yes.
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay. We'll talk about sweaty beer. Okay. So anyway, Dark Truth from Boulevard Brewing is an Imperial Stout, Imperial or double stout, same thing, simply means that it's roughly double the ingredients, if you will. That's the simplest way of putting it. Okay, so it's higher ABV, it's got more body, more flavor, more everything. Now, here's the commercial description. It says, ready? Throughout the ages, man has been fascinated by the quest for hidden knowledge, the search for the secret to transforming the elemental into the extraordinary, the simple into the sublime.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present for you consideration.
This exotic
Hold
inky
on.
concoction.
We present for your
consideration.
consideration. Sorry, go on.
No, you were
This exotic inky concoction, the most magical creation of our modern day alchemists, who have turned humble grains, barley, wheat, rye, and oats into black liquid gold.
layers of complex flavors slowly emerging from the glass. Espresso, roasted fig, creme brulee.
Belgian yeast provides a plum-like fruitiness. Noble German hops reveal spicy herbal notes, while the rich, velvety mouthfeel mellows to a dry,
smoky
smoky finish.
Hey, as another side note, because this review is
Interactive.
Well, it's destined to be fraught with diversion and digression.
Right.
You're into wine, and you post a lot on Vivino?
Yes.
Yes, so tell us a little bit about Vivino. What is that? And what is your username should somebody want to follow?
I think it's Kristin Bertrand on Vivino, and it's an app for wine journaling. You take a picture of the label, it finds all the details, it connects you to all of the other peer reviews, and you can write any tasting notes, and it's just like a 1 to 5 star rating system. And then it makes recommendations. If you like this wine, then you'd like this. And then also now, I was an early adopter when the app was still, I think, in beta form.
Wow.
But now they are, they're really turning it into a marketing platform, and they now are getting, their credit card processing. And it's like, here's where you can buy this wine close to you, and here's where it's on sale, and here's a map
And
where
we
you
get a
can
cut
find
from it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, interesting you mentioned that. Untapped is an app that I use now. Yes, I do these beer review videos, but I've been doing fewer of them simply because of work demands and the time constraints and all that. And it's quicker many times when I'm in a beer pub, brew pub or a tap room or whatever, just to pull out the phone and just use Untapped to quickly register. And it's been fun because when I was in Chicago for so long, a couple of the places up there, as soon as I would do a review, it would be up on the screen, the FR5ED just said this about this beer,
And
So,
did anybody ever comment about the spelling of your name?
Well, one of the brewery reps was in one of the locations up there, and we had a discussion where he said, hey, somebody just reviewed one of our beers. And he's looking around to see who it was, and we got into a discussion.
And were you like, hi, it was I?
Hi. And he actually gave me a free sample of a new IPA they were introducing that ended up showing up on tap. So this is warming up nicely. That's kind of a benefit of this apparent stalling, is that it's warming up colder than the 37 degrees storage. It's going to get closer to 60. Anyway, we did read you the commercial description. Let me just give you a few facts. It is 9.7% ABV, 60 IBUs, so that's fairly significant for a stout. There's a lot of IPAs that don't quite reach 60. But anyway, now for the ratings.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace?
They don't reach 60. That's so sad.
Too
soon.
Yeah, before it's time.
I know.
That's the bitter truth, though.
What does this IBU mean?
International Bittering Unit. And it is an objective measurement done in laboratories. Homebrewers like myself can't really test for that, but our software will let us approximate what the IBUs are. But laboratories do this for the commercial brewers. They can actually do an objective test and determine what the actual IBUs are. So the higher the international bittering units, the more bitter the beer is. Now, you, my loyal viewers, know that the higher the alcohol content, the more muted or diminished the sensation of bitterness is. So it's not always the higher the IBUs, the higher the bitterness perception. That is adjusted, if you will, or attenuated by the alcohol content inversely thereof.
Well, and I also have to thank you for tempering your selection tonight to my palate. I don't like IPA. My name is Kristin Bertrand, and I don't like IPAs.
I did enroll her in a Stout 12-step program.
Kristin Bertrand.
Yes.
So thanks for going with the Imperial Stout tonight, so I could avoid comparing the taste to
Right. Yeah. Well, don't. I've heard
something
you.
freshly hitting the litter box.
Yeah, that's what I knew you were going for. So anyway, looking at some quick reviews on Beer Advocate after 2,631 ratings, rates a 3.99 out of 5, which is considered very good. The brothers rated it out of 4.
Who are the brothers?
The brothers who started Beer Advocate. Good question.
Oh.
I couldn't tell you their names, Bob
Hi,
and Bill.
brothers.
But they're the brothers.
Okay.
And they weigh in often on these.
Oh.
And on Rate Beer, which again, my disclaimer on this, they were bought out
No.
by the big boys. Well, they know. I'm talking to them.
Hi, Chris.
Chris, there you are. I was wondering when you were going to show up. So this isn't Facebook Live, so I don't really see anybody out there. But anyway, Rate Beer is a rating site, a social crowd rating site that got bought out by the big boys. I couldn't tell you if it was Miller Coors or InBev, AB InBev or whoever, but I've kind of semi-boycotted them. I switched from using the app over to Untapped strictly because of this, and I'm glad I did because Untapped is a great app. But I still tend to come back here to throw this in the mix. On here, after only 983 ratings, I think they're losing some viewership, it appears. And who knows why, I'm speculating. But anyway, 98 overall, 78 in style. So not bad. But let's go to Untapped. Now, notice 983 ratings for this beer. On Untapped, 70,490 ratings.
Whoa.
53,907 are unique. I have no idea why down here it says 48,946. So I haven't delved deep, dove deep into this to understand the numbers. But it is apparent that this is a very largely used app. As another side note, the digression continues. My first day in Ireland, this was June 19th, and I was sleepless after 36 hours. And I was in Belfast, Northern Ireland, and I went into the Crown, which is a very famous pub. It was the first one on my list for our trip. And I'm at the bar having my first Guinness. My first Guinness in Ireland, expertly
First
poured.
Guinness in Ireland,
In
not
Ireland.
first
Right.
Guinness. Okay.
So I'm standing there at the bar having my first few sips, and I hear an accent next to me. And interestingly, as a side note to this side
What do
note.
they say? I could do it for you.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Well,
you want to do it.
well,
I don't want to take your glory.
Well, no.
But like, I could role play.
Well, you could, except you're thinking I'm talking about an Irish accent. It was an English accent.
I'm even better at English.
Well, here's what happened. She said in her English accent, "Oh, are you rating your beer?" How would you say that?
Oh, are you rating your beer?
That's good. That's very pronounced. She was a little more subtle.
Oh, are you rating your beer?
Well, no, it wasn't condescending.
Oh, are you rating your beer?
Okay, so we'll go with that.
Okay.
And that's what she said in an English accent. Anyway, so it turns out that her sons were there, had come in from England as well, and they were visiting family, and they were in one of the snugs, which is a partitioned off area, and the whole drinking area, instead of being open tables, are rooms, little rooms that come up to about here with doors on them. So everywhere you sit is private. It is so cool. Whole nother story. Anyway, so she said to me, my son rates his beers. I'm going to send him over. So a minute later, her son comes over, followed shortly after by his brother, which I'm assuming is her other son, if you do the math. So he pulled out his Untapped app, and I did, and so we're friends now on Untapped. And long story short, they bought me a beer. We had a great talk. It was really cool. So that's Untapped.
Where were we going?
We're going into a review. Okay. I'm going to open this now. Oh, we need to open both of them. So thank you for the bottle opener. We have that one. We'll use a bottle opener here. Here, you can have that bottle. I'll take this one.
Oh, look at this. Silent 5 brewing glasses in 2 different sizes.
Well, this is the official size over here. This was a one-off sample that I had the guy do at first, and it came out. It was a bigger one. So
you tilt the glass slightly,
yeah,
but you keep the angle
of
the beer bottle at 180.
That works. You're doing better than I did, because I got much more foam here than you are. Although
don't fill the whole glass.
No. You want to leave room for the aromatics.
I'll pour it back.
No. Yeah, good luck with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my.
So should I pour some of mine in yours, or just
to
this?
No, that's good.
Oh, this is good.
That's a good amount.
Okay.
You want to leave room for the aromatics. So the first thing is we want to look at it and try to see the color and the clarity. And with a beer this dark, even with light pouring in from our light sources.
No, it is opaque.
It is?
It is like black coffee.
Oh, okay, I'm just barely able to see. Now, if you're a BJCP, a beer judge certification program person who's judging beers all the time, and I'm not.
But you are.
But when they're judging,
we're judging
they use, in a competition, they use these opaque little plastic cups. And what they do when they're looking at the color, from my understanding, is they only pour a little bit into the glass, at maybe a quarter inch, half inch. There is a designated amount. And then what they're doing is they'll use an SRM scale, put it down, and put the cup and slide it to look through the bottom of the cup into a light source and match it. It's a little dusty. Sorry.
We'll just hold on.
Pardon.
Okay.
That's much better. I can see better. So anyway, they'll slide along. Well, what I do is I hold it up to the light against it, and this is we're 24 plus.
Try? Okay.
Oh, sure. Good luck.
Oh, double plus.
Yeah. So we're off the end of the scale. It's extremely dark, which you would expect for not just a stout, but an Imperial stout. This is deep black. Another side note. Guinness, the national beverage of Ireland, and again, I should do a whole thing on my trip to the Guinness storehouse. That was wonderful. Guinness is not black. It's not even dark brown. It is ruby red. And you can demonstrate that with Guinness by holding it up to a light, and through the bottom, through a corner, the edge of the glass, you will see this. I think of it more as a mahogany red. She called it a ruby red.
Irish Guinness. American Guinness is...
Well, no. All right. we're going down another trail
Oh
here.
boy. Should we put a pin in that, do something else with this, and then come back around to it?
We might do that. So maybe or maybe not. Let's go back to this.
Okay.
So let's swirl it.
Okay.
We've already looked at the color and the clarity. It seems, it's hard to tell, but it seems to be opaque, which maybe it's unfiltered. I didn't even check to see if it was unfiltered. But it's very, very, very dark. Okay, now aromas. Short little sniffs. You don't want to do a big,
Oh.
long sniff. You want to do little
Really?
snorts. Oh, yeah.
Snorts.
Like a dog sniffing another dog. Okay, you tell me what you get, because I already know what I'm getting.
I'm getting some memories from childhood.
That doesn't help our viewers.
Oh, it's something super specific, but
Well, I don't want to interrupt you then if you've got something on the tip of your tongue.
it's like the mahogany wood of an old organ.
Okay, you're getting, okay, so wood, notes of wood, but specific woods, like an antique
Yes.
piano or organ.
Yes.
I could see that. And again, I don't know if they used any wood chips in there, because that's something that's done, or even storage in different barrels, you know, bourbon or port or different barrels. So again, we don't really know that much history about it because they didn't give that to us and we didn't research it. But yes, I also get caramel and molasses,
Definitely molasses.
some coffee, which it's not
Yes.
unusual to get a huge nose of coffee from a stout.
But it's almost too sweet
This-
to be
exactly,
coffee. It's
you're-
not bitter enough to be coffee.
And we haven't even tasted it, but you're smelling that it's not as
Yeah.
bitter as you think it's going to
Yeah,
be.
more. It's sort of
It
like a
smells more
dark
sweet.
wooden cup of molasses that you're drinking while you sit in a coffee shop.
Very, very descriptive. And I can get that. It's amazing how thick this looks and how tenacious the head is when it hits the side of the glass, and the lacing you get. 9.7% is not huge. I mean, this could easily have gone for 11 or 12 for an Imperial IPA, but it's in the range. I'm ready to taste. Ready to taste?
I feel like there is some yes.
Oh, you're still smelling.
There's some more. There's
There's more to-
there's more profile here. We
Okay.
have not even scratched the surface.
I'm getting a tiny bit of butterscotch.
I'm getting like dates, like marinated dates or figs.
Okay. Somewhere they mentioned figs, and I think
Oh,
that
they do.
roasted figs. So
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
Espresso, roasted fig, creme brulee.
creme brulee, there
where
would
you
be
were
some
getting
of
the
that sweetness
butterscotch,
and butterscotch, yeah.
plum, like fruitiness, herbal notes.
And they used a Belgian yeast. That just struck me. That is so unusual for a
I am
stout.
getting those German hops a little bit.
When we
There's
taste
a little
this,
bit of that hop like smacking me up here.
yeah,
Yeah.
but they are definitely in the background compared to the malts. And the Belgian yeast, which typically can impart banana and clove.
No, I'm not getting that.
No, because it's overpowered because of the roasted malts.
Yeah.
Anyway, but when we taste it, I'm interested to see, do I taste that Belgian yeast come through?
All right.
This
The
is going
dark
to be
truth.
dark truth. Wow,
That's powerful.
that's unexpected. It's part of it. Some of it's expected, but
Has such a lingering flavor and a very smooth mouthfeel. Very
It's-
creamy.
it's a heavy and smooth and definitely creamy mouthfeel. And there is a bitterness. I don't know about the 60 IBUs. That supposedly objective, but I think it's very subjective
You need
as
it
well.
though, otherwise this would be
Too
sticky
sweet, exactly.
Yeah, no.
It balances and keeps it from being cloying, for sure, because it could be
Cloying.
cloying.
Tenacious and
Tenaciously
cloying.
cloying. But it's not cloying because of the hops. And the dark roasted barley gives part of the bitterness. It's a combination of the hops and the dark
There
roasted
is a,
barley.
I mean, the barley, it's very strong.
Now, I can definitely sense the alcohol. Sometimes the alcohol is totally hidden. I like the fact that there's a little bit of warmth to this. You do get a little bit of the alcohol warmth, but it's
Oh,
not like
yes.
some of these 11 or 12% where they push it up front and, let you know that it's potent.
This one more like sneaks around from the back.
Yeah. This is extremely sippable.
Very sippable. I would not have this with a meal.
I was finishing that in my head. I don't know.
Really?
I said, I don't know where she's going with it, but I wouldn't want to have this with a meal.
No, I would not have this with
This is
food.
contemplative.
This is almost like, it's like the power bar of beers. You don't need a meal. This is your meal because it's a little savory, a little sweet, and already my stomach feels full.
Fuller.
Feel very satiated right now.
Mm.
It's a little salty. Like, think about the front... Just the front part of your uvula right now.
I wasn't thinking about my uvula.
I know, but like right there on the
it.
front, like on the front flap of the hanging ball, it's salty.
And I get that. I mean, as soon as you said it, I don't know what the water treatment was for this, the water profile, the minerals that they used, but
Are
certainly.
they near the ocean?
Well, no. They treat their water. They either use reverse osmosis water and treat the mineral, put the minerals.
No, they're not.
Oh no,
Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah, no surf fishing or anything there. But they may have, the water profile may have called for. I use salt. I use calcium chloride and magnesium sulfate and calcium sulfate, or whatever, the different minerals and salt, sodium chloride. And different amounts to match the water profile that the recipe calls for. So they may have used, a higher degree of salt. So anyway, overall, I would definitely get this again. I find it intriguing. It's nice with all the brews out there, 6,000 plus microbreweries in the U.S. and growing, and everybody doing IPAs and trying to, cover all their bases. It's hard to come up with something unique. Mm-hmm. Which is why there's so many fruit beers and sour beers. They're trying to keep stretching out and being, making a mark out there. This, I think, does that. I think it sets it apart from other Imperial IPAs. And I'm actually tasting a little cedar in there, like they used some cedar spirals or something.
I'm also thinking about beef jerky.
Wow. I wish I had some. Anyway, very good. I think I'm finished reviewing. I think they were finished watching about 21 minutes ago.
21 minutes?
Well, we're at 22:40. I figured they were done about 21 minutes ago.
Yeah, probably.
So anyway.
Thanks for watching, honey.
This is Fred, FR5ED, and...
Kristin with 2 eyes. I love you.
I think I know what you meant, but then I also know what you could mean, and I think you did mean what I think you could mean.
I wasn't making fun of you.
Oh, okay. All right.
I was just counting my vowels, and this is Kristin.
Oh, counting your vowels.
Yeah, 2 eyes.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, no. I didn't mean real eyes,
No.
Daddy. I love you.
But I got it, even if you didn't mean it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Are we done?
This has been a craft beer adventure.
It's been a wild adventure. We've laughed. We've cried. We've smelled and tasted beer.
We've sniffed, we've swirled, we've laced.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers. Good night.
Good
Over
night.
and out.